It was the day after Christmas, 1996. A 6-year-old girl, beauty queen, woke up in her Colorado home, full of joy, full of life. She had just celebrated Christmas with her family. She had gifts to open and a whole future ahead of her. But by the end of that day, JonBenét Ramsey was dead, found in the basement of her own home by her own father, and the killer was never found. JonBenét Ramsey was 6 years old. She lived in Boulder, Colorado with her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey. Her father was a wealthy businessman. Her mother, a former beauty queen herself, had entered JonBenét into child beauty pageants. JonBenét had already won multiple titles. She was known for her bright smile, her infectious energy, and her natural talent on stage. To everyone who knew her, she was simply a happy, loving little girl who had no idea that evil was lurking, closer than anyone could have imagined. On the night of December 25, 1996, the Ramsey family returned home from a Christmas party. JonBenét was put to bed. The house was quiet. But the next morning, at 5:52 a.m., Patsy Ramsey called 911, screaming, hysterical. "We have a kidnapping," she cried. "Our daughter is missing." Police arrived within minutes. On the kitchen counter, they found a 2.5-page ransom note. It demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return, and it warned, "Do not call the police." But the police were already there. Hours passed. Detectives searched the house. Friends and family gathered. And then, at 1 p.m., John Ramsey went to the basement and made the most horrifying discovery of his life. JonBenét was there, hidden under a blanket. Her wrists were bound. Her mouth was covered with tape. And she was gone. She had been strangled and struck on the head. The kidnapper had never left the house. JonBenét was murdered while her family slept upstairs. What followed was one of the most controversial investigations in American history. Police immediately suspected the parents. John and Patsy Ramsey were put under intense scrutiny. The media destroyed their reputation. Neighbors turned against them. But no charges were ever filed. DNA evidence found at the scene did not match anyone in the family. In 2008, the Ramsey family was officially cleared. But by then, Patsy Ramsey had already died of cancer. Never seeing her daughter's killer brought to justice. Never getting the answers she desperately needed. 3 main theories exist. Theory 1, an intruder broke into the house that night, planned the murder, and left behind the ransom note as a distraction. Theory 2, someone within the family was responsible. This theory was widely believed, but never proven. Theory 3, a family friend or acquaintance, someone who knew the house, someone who knew the family, someone who was never suspected. In 2023, new DNA technology gave investigators fresh hope. They believe they may finally be close to identifying the killer. But as of today, JonBenét's killer remains free. JonBenét Ramsey was 6 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. She deserved to grow up, to laugh, to love, to live. Instead, she was taken, in her own home, on the night after Christmas, by someone who has never faced justice. Her father still fights for answers. Her memory lives on, and somewhere out there, the truth is still waiting to be found. Subscribe, because we will never stop seeking justice for the ones who cannot speak for themselves.